EA Sports. Just as we were ready for air, it was the Colts emerging from the locker room to great fanfare here in Indy. They're ready to go as the Colts get set to match up with the Denver Broncos. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
On the double. 36 to Mike. Watch the run, watch the run.
Now the young man who was a Pro Bowler as an undrafted rookie, it's Phillip Lindsay. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, a run with Lindsay. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Locke. He'll find Lindsay here. And he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage with a penalty flag down. This might push him back further. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Hey, Charlie.
Shotgun snap to Locke. And he slings one that's incomplete. He was trying to find Noah Fant, the tight end, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Locke. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. A gain there of 21 yards. The 6th season in Denver now for Emmanuel Sanders after those 4 years in Pittsburgh. And you may recall Sanders tore his Achilles December 5th last year in practice. But before the injury, he was on his way to another 1,000-yard season. Would have been his 4th in his first 5 years in a Bronco uniform. And now at 32 years of age as he tries to return to full speed. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsay. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Hey, Haywood.
On 2nd down, here's Locke. He'll get this to Phillip Lindsay, complete. Call it a gain of 3, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
70, Indy. Coming after you. I'm coming after you.
They'll try and run for it with Lindsey. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
This is Royce Freeman, second-year man from Oregon. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be second and 11.
Brings up second and 11 at the 44-yard line.
30 base. 36. Know your job. Check. Hey, box truck, 5.
Lock to throw on second down. Sanders has it over the middle. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 20-yard line. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
Into the red zone, it's Locke. And he fires one that's intercepted. The ball comes out, picked off at the 13. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations, big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
They'll run on first down. Lindsey. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a first and goal. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Set, ready, 8, read. Double, that's the way.
They'll run with Lindsey. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Phillip Lindsey, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And they do exactly what they wanted to. Opening drive, they get into the end zone. They do it on the ground.
And not only is the person lugging the ball happy, of course, because he got it into the end zone. How about the offensive linemen and receivers who are blocking for him? They have to feel great about themselves, sticking it in the end zone on a running play.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. This is Marlon Mack, 3rd-year running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 24-yard line.
Check out. 540. Watch the pass.
To throw is Locke. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Von Miller in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on 3rd. Luck and the Colts looking for something big here after the sack. This is 3rd and long. Now Locke. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
You see me? You see me? They can't stop me out here.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is fielded at the 27. Officially, that'll be a 63-yard punt. Well done. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 70-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
At the 25-yard line.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
They can't hang with us. Go. Go, man. Watch 36. 36 to Mike. I got you, Pop. Let's go, kid.
Now Locke throwing on 2nd down. Airing it out for Hamilton. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hey, Delta.
Throwing his Lock on 3rd down. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
One of the selling points of the corner route is usually the receiver is able to move away from the defender. But in this case, he didn't get that far away.
Ready. 50, plant. Too low. Slam. Pilot, 64, weak. Hey, exit. Ready.
On 1st and 10, here's Locke. Left side here to Sanders.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And he'll get it down here to the 43. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
On 1st down, right back to Lindsey. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
Locke throwing on target to Fant and brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
First down, Denver.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this 1st down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. Clayton Gathers makes the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now arguably the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
From the 22, Locke. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
Just like that. Hey, Echo. Hey, 4-1 Mike, 4-1 Mike. Watch the run. Hey, come.
To throw on third down. Locke. Completes it to Fant on the right side. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 12-yard line.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Locke now, 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Now a carry for Lindsey. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. From the gun, it's Locke. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Emmanuel Sanders, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front. That's an old-fashioned death march there, partner. Took them a lot of plays, but hey, they did the job.
And the defense always preaches getting off the field, making a play, and turning it back over to their own offense. Unable to do so. A long, sustained drive by the offense.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Steps away to his left. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Out of the gun, Locke. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Von Miller has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Luck now to throw. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. The final shot before the break. Locke. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And that should give his guys a spark. He's up all the way to the 44-yard line.
It's the third quarter, and they're down on the scoreboard. And while no one wants to hit the panic button just yet, points are a necessity on this drive. What a great way to get set up.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there, because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. Todd Davis, the Broncos' leading tackler last year, up to make the stop.
2nd and 6 at the Broncos' 33-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They go right back to Mack. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there, as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Now a play fake, and it's locked. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Love. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Von Miller racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Luck in the Colts looking for something big here after the sack. This is 3rd and long.
Check hot route. Hot. Kill. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Check. Fresno.
Just beating the play clock is Love. And he's going to go down again.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And Vinatieri's kick is good. Vinatieri, the NFL's oldest active player, also the league's all-time leading scorer, past Morton Anderson last year.
Yeah, he turned 46 in December of 2018. You really can't see it in his leg. Maybe in the beard.
You can see it in the beard.
Maybe in the beard, that's about it. But as long as he's booting them the way he's booting them, keep going, big guy.
At their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this third quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and they're shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here.
Trying to get that edge back as they've watched this lead shrink a little.
Everyone got four down.
They'll go again with Lindsey. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts us down to a 3rd and about 5. We talked about Phillip Lindsay so much last year, but it bears repeating. Undrafted in 2018, the Broncos would sign him in May, and that was a good decision. He would have a 1,000-yard season, 9 touchdowns en route to a Pro Bowl appearance. So from undrafted to playing in the Pro Bowl in 10 months, that's pretty clean living for Phillip Lindsay. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Justin Houston making his presence felt there in the backfield. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. On second down, here's a run with Mack. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Luck. Going for Hilton, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
Oh, the timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
On 1st down, it's Lindsey. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. A Bronco 1st down there, 12 yards on the play. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
3 quarters in the books. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Indianapolis. It's Bronco football, and they also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th. On 2nd down now, it's Lindsey. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. They'll try the draw, Lindsey. And he had to get this down to the 15. He won't make it. He's a yard or 2 short. It's a gain of 5, and now the question, will the offense stay out there on 4th and 1? The kick by McManus is good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. so they settle for just the 3. But clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are.
That's caught inside the 20. A big play there for Indy. 59 yards. A cool little accomplishment for him passing the football. 25,000 yards he just surpassed. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. The sack there by Bradley Chubb. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
To try again after the sack. Luck. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Von Miller, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Luck and the Colts looking for something big here after the sack. This is 3rd and long. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Looking to erase a 2-score deficit here in the 4th quarter. Going for some big plays.
Yeah, they certainly were. They just decided one shot, didn't they? Forget trying to move the ball downfield in small little increments. Let's go for the big one. But how about the defense playing situational football, looking at the scoreboard and realizing what can hurt us most? The deep shot. They played it well.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here we go on 4th. Luck. There goes a deep ball. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Now it's Lindsey. He's got daylight. The 40, the 20, 10, and all the way home for a Broncos score. Phillip Lindsay, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Broncos push further out in front. Extra point from McManus is good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field. And this will be caught at the 30. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Back to throw. Love. They'll run the screen with Mack.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Now Love. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his second of the game. Instead, fourth down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Here's Love. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Adam Gotsis, the Aussie, with a sack. So they've gone for it twice now on fourth down of this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
They'll run here with Lindsey. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he brings this up to the 46, good enough for the first. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They'll run. It's Lindsey. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be second and 11. So this one will wind up a Denver victory, and it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field.